My mic's hot. We'll call this meeting of the Public Works Committee to order. Today is Tuesday, December 28th. It's 12:30 p.m. and this is the appointed time and place for said meeting. We will begin with a roll call and determination of quorum.
Armstrong?
Here.
Jones?
Here?
Evans? Here. Stroman? Here. Robert? We have quorum.
Thank you. We have a quorum. In the absence of Chairman Roberts, I'll just act in his role for today so we can keep the meeting rolling. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. We need a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Evans, second by Stroman to approve the agenda. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is general public comment. This is a time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the committee on any issue not limited to items on the agenda. Action will not be taken at any meeting on any issue not on the agenda, except by placement on the agenda by unanimous vote of the council members present. We don't have any notes here in front of me to talk about. We have no members of the public present at this time, so we will close general public comment. Next item is consent items 1 through 16. We will open public comment per the agenda at this time on items 1 through 16. Seeing none, I will close public comment on items 1 through 16. We will move on to item 1, approve the minutes of the December 14th meeting. We need a motion to approve the minutes, please.
Move to approve.
Moved by Stroman, second by Evans to approve the minutes from the December 14th meeting. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The minutes from December 14th are approved. We now move on to items 2 through 16, items from the Public Works Department. I would like to proceed, as we've done in the last few meetings, is have our representatives who are here discuss the items, and if we have any questions, we can discuss them and go at that time. Are everyone good with that process, gentlemen? Laura, you good with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll go on, we will go to Director Tech. We'll start with item 2, and then whoever you need to farm it out to, please feel free to do so.
Thank you very much, Chairman Jones. If I could have a point of privilege just prior to getting started. Thank you. I would like to take this moment, being the final Public Works Committee meeting of 2021, to thank the members of the committee for all of your hard work and diligence this year. We've gotten a lot done in the past year, and we've got a lot more to do in the upcoming year. So thank you so much for your support and being here every week to make a lot of great decisions. So appreciate that. The first thing I'd like to point out is we actually have items 2 through 17. The agenda is slightly wrong, so there was an item added late. I shouldn't say late, added in time for notification, but it should reflect items 2 through 17 on the consent calendar.
So noted. We will now review items 2 through 17 then on the calendar. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll speak to items 2 through 5, and then item 17. Item 2 is a rate study. We're seeking authorization for proposals to hire a consultant to do a 5-year rate study for our water and wastewater utilities. We went through this exact process, I believe, in the year 2017 for rates effective through the years 2018 through 2022. So the first part of 2022, we'd anticipate doing the same work we did prior, and that is to review our cost of service analysis and come up with a fair and equitable rate structure for the next 5-year period. We'll have involvement by members of the council during the process of the rate study, so that involvement will be all along the way. So anyway, this is a budgeted item and something that our rate policies that were passed back in 2018 requires that we do this on a 5-year interval. So Item number 3 is to purchase a vacuum truck. I believe that's for our utility maintenance division, so that Vector truck is to maintain our sewer collection system. It's a piece of equipment that's used nearly daily. Item 4 is an amendment to a contract with FMG, who did most of the material testing on the Rushmore Plaza, or the monument, rather, the new arena, the Summit Arena at Monument. This amendment reflects the final tests that were required for quality assurance purposes during the construction of the arena. Item 5 is a contract for professional services for the design, bidding, and construction administration for Fire Station 1. We've certainly had a lot of discussion about this project in the past. The schematic design was done by Chamberlain, so this is the next step in making that project a reality. I know there's members of the fire department here. If you've got specific questions later on, I'm sure they're probably a bit more equipped to answer those than I. I'll turn it over to Ben Ganji, city engineer, to discuss items 6 through 15.
Yeah, thank you, Dale. Item 6 is an agreement between HDR and the City of Rapid City for one of our bridge repair projects over on East Main Street. 7 through 8 are authorizing staff to advertise for bids for 3 of our CIPs. One of them, those projects being the Deadwood Avenue reconstruct, East Anamosa Street storm sewer repairs, and a roadway servicing project where we're paving the street on that. Items 10 and 11 are progress change orders for 2 of our CIPs, and 12 and 13 are final change orders for 2 of our CIPs. Item 14 is an oversize agreement between Fox LLC and the City of Rapid City for some of the plating requirements that are required for them. And item 15 is a sidewalk variance along Elysian Court. That's in the Carriage Hills area where there's no sidewalk along the entire stretch of road, and so staff supports this variance for the sidewalk. Any questions on any of those, I'd be open to answer.
Any questions from any members? I just have a quick question on 15, if I may. Is that an area that is outside the city limits but within the 3-mile radius, or is that in the city limits itself?
It's in the city limits.
Okay. But there's no sidewalks in place at all at this time?
This is at the no sidewalk. All of Carriage Hills is no sidewalk, and this is at the very, very end, or the top of Carriage Hills, another court that they've kind of,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure. We will go to Greg Stroman.
Thank you, Chair. I have a couple questions for Public Works Director Dale Tech, if I may.
Go right ahead.
Dale,
Tech.
I noticed on number 2, which is the water rate study, that your proposal says that it is funded by the enterprise fund, the water enterprise fund, and the water reclamation enterprise fund. Would you explain that this, as I understand, those are dollars that do not come out of the general fund, but that they come out of the particular enterprise fund that's being assessed. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes. The anything we do for our water and water reclamation enterprise funds is paid for by fees collected for the service. So there are no general fund subsidies in this, so this is certainly a cost of doing business, and it's typical in all utilities across the country. In fact, there are very specific guidelines in doing a rate study that are defensible in court. We were fortunate enough the last time to have a consultant that helped write the book on doing an appropriate rate study, so that having that expertise is invaluable to the city and invaluable to our ratepayers. It provides rate stability, and as I stated earlier, it's a fairness and equity are the cornerstones of a good rate structure. So I hope that answered your question.
It does. I have a couple more on another subject. On number 5, the architectural agreement for the fire station, you had mentioned that we've already done the schematic, so what is the additional, is this the fine points? I'm not really...
Yeah, the schematic design that was accomplished really was the investigative work to get to what does the facility need to be? What is the size? How is it going to be added on to the existing structure? So it answered a lot of the preliminary questions. The final design is actually then where the architect, the engineers, the HVAC folks, they're actually doing the design work, so you have a set of plans that the project can be bid from. And then obviously bidding services and then construction administration services after that.
Okay. And then, I guess my other 2 questions would be for Mr. Ganji, so I'll just wait to see if there's anybody else on 1 through 5, or?
Yeah, I have a question on number 5. How did we go about selecting Chamberlain as the architect for this project? I mean, do we ever have competitive proposals? I mean, I know from my training, and I certainly know from my sister's experience back in the big cities, that you know, we don't always get the best design when we just go with somebody. How were they selected in the first place? And was there ever a chance for maybe taking 3 proposals and deciding, hey, that's a great idea, why didn't we think of that? Do we do that ever?
The City of Rapid City has a professional services selection policy, and that's a qualification-based selection, which is the standard for any type of government work. And Chamberlain was selected through that qualification-based selection. I was not part of that. I believe the fire department was, and more than likely Rod Johnson, but you hire people based on qualifications and then you negotiate a contract. So I think we have some on here where we're requesting proposals. Well, we have to go through that process to select somebody based on their qualifications.
Well, I guess that doesn't really answer my question. Do we ever have a competitive design process where we bring in 3 architects and we look at the 3 proposals and say, geez, that one's way better than the other 2? Because, you know, qualifications don't mean anything really, aside from they're legal to practice. That doesn't mean we necessarily get the best designs. And so, you know, I'm curious, do we have a vehicle for doing such a process at all, or should maybe we add it?
Yeah, that is not part of our existing policy at the moment. So once again, qualification-based selection is very straightforward. It's based on experience. It's based on either similar facilities or similar type work, but as far as a design-specific selection process, to my knowledge, the city's never done that.
Well, it might be something we might want to explore, because I believe good design will save you money in the long run, not cost you money, even if it costs a little bit more initially. And certain groups have more experience doing certain, you know, types of design than others. And I'm just worried that we get the best bang for the buck and we also get the most creative solutions to problems. And this is a particular problem on that site that requires great creativity, and I want to make sure we maybe do that. Also, how is the fee structure set? I know that architectural fees can vary anywhere to 3% to 5% depending on the size of the project and everything. And this looks like we pretty much decided this is going to be 5%, about a $16 million project. Is that true? And why is it set in advance rather than perhaps we do half of it and then we do the other half depending on how it all evolves? I'm curious about that.
As part of the consultant selection process, once you've selected a consultant based on qualifications, you enter into contract negotiation. And it is not based on the cost of the facility. It is based on the tasks that are required to get the design effort done, the hourly billing rates, and it's a hourly not to exceed contract that we typically enter into with our consultants. So there was a lot of work getting down into the details of what it will take to do this design, not just from the architect, but from structural engineers and HVAC professionals. And those fees are based on estimated hours to get the job done and their hourly billing rate. Once again, qualification-based selection isn't about price, it's about quality.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to do some checking on this because, you know, our family is heavily involved in construction across the country. And I'm just going to do some checking to see if this is standard practice, because it appears to me we sometimes contract with people just because that's who's sitting in the area at the given time. And so I'm going to do some checking on this for the future, because I honestly think we can come up with some better options in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Evans. I know when I met with the fire chief asking questions about this when we were in the initial stages of what to fund and what not to fund, and gentlemen from the fire department that are here, please correct me if I'm wrong, or I'd like your comment. Chamberlain Architects does fire stations, correct? That's what they do. They are in that business of designing fire stations. And then they are going to be working with a local contractor here in the process. So we'll have a local contractor working with a company that designs fire stations professionally, working together, and we will have input in the design, because Commissioner Evans has some good points. We will have input in the design phase and every step of the way. It's not just going to be something that's handed to us or pushed on us, correct?
Chairman Jones, if I might. Tim Billings, I'm a division chief in the city's fire marshal, and just to tag on to Director Tech's comments, as well as answer your question, the Chamberlain Architects is a group effort, a consortium of folks that happen to specialize in this type of work. The process that they were selected through involved a number of architectural firms and design professionals that were interviewed for their theories, for the type of project that they seen would fit on our site. They evaluated everything, and Chamberlain came out on top on the selection process. So that's how they were selected. But yes, fire stations, their partner design group do specialize in fire station work. So we're very confident in that we have a very qualified group and very responsive to our needs, and we'll have a product we can be proud of.
And throughout the design phase and the build phase and all that, who from the city will be involved in that, you know, from a hands-on, knowing what's going on day to day, we like this, we don't like this type of thing?
The members of the fire department will be involved in that, but Rod Johnson will be the primary contact person that will oversee the construction project for the city's interests.
Because as we all know, we have a unique opportunity here to do something wonderful with Fire Station 1, and we know the need is most certainly there. No one could argue that. And we all want to make sure that it's done right, within budget, of course, and efficiently, and we have a project that we'll all be proud of when we're done. In my conversation with the chief and what he showed me of the qualifications and the process that's taken place so far, I was very excited and very confident that we had the right people on board just based on what's taken place so far. But we all need to make sure that we honor and respect that throughout the process. Updates to the council will be welcomed, and it's good that it's being looked at with all eyes open and full in view of everything. So thank you.
One more comment, Mr.
Yes, please, Mr. Evans.
Not trying to be argumentative, but that's not necessarily the standard process from what I've learned. And back east, where my sister is strongly involved in projects, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, I mean, big cities. It seems to be a lot more competitive, okay? We tend to get isolated out here, and we take, I'm really good at that. Trust me. I don't necessarily believe getting all the value. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Chamberlain. They might be the greatest firm in the world. I'm just saying we maybe need to do a little more exploring. The city's on the crux of growing. I'd like to see higher quality design in this city because you can compare it with surrounding communities. You can go to Boulder and Fort Collins. You can go up to Missoula, and you can go to Bozeman. And you're finding a level of design that is frankly quite a bit higher than we're finding in most of our structures around here. So I'm just trying to push forward with quality for the city. So, thank you.
Noted. Thank you, Mr. Evans. Mr. Stroman.
Thank you. May I direct another question to Director Tech?
Yes, Mr. Tech.
So Dale, the Chamberlain, they have a local office, right, and local architects, but it's actually a multi-state or maybe international, I don't know. Which,
They do have a local office, I do know that. Once again, I wasn't involved in the selection process. Maybe
Tim?
Assistant Chief Billings can speak to that.
Absolutely, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Chamberlain has a local office right here in Rapid City, but they do cooperatively work in many other states across the West. They're partnered with TCA Architecture, I believe it is, out of Seattle. They've designed fire stations throughout the Front Range and many other western states as well. So we do have the local representation is right here in Rapid, but they are a nationwide company.
Okay. And one other small detail, in the agreement, it states in the comments that it's vision funds. That needs to be corrected, right? This is not coming out of vision funds, is it, Dale? This is the federal.
It does not. We'll make sure that the contract and all of the funding component of that is correct. Where did you see that?
Oh, on the attachment to the agenda item, under comments, it says vision funds. For a professional services agreement.
Yeah, I see where that is, and we'll make sure that's either corrected, or that might be a finance question where they may have transferred the COVID dollars, if you will, into the vision fund to just for tracking purposes. That we'll follow up with that and make sure we have that information.
Okay, and this contract looks like it's going to take about 2.5 years. Original contract date is January 4, 2022, and completion is expected July 4, 2024.
Yeah, it's anticipated that it's a 30-month, because it's 2 phases. Station 1 has to remain in operation, so the phase construction is necessary to ensure that services can still be provided during construction.
Okay, thank you, sir. I yield.
If there are no other questions, then we need a motion to approve items 2 through 15. Moved by Evans, second by Stroman to approve items 2 through 15. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Items 2 through 15 are unanimously approved. Item 16, confirm the appointment of Scott Kenner to the Rapid City Air Quality Board. Moved by Evans, second by Stroman to approve Scott Kenner to the Rapid City Air Quality Board. Any discussion? Mr. Evans.
I think he's awesome, and he'll be a great addition. Thank you.
Those were great words to say. Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 17 from Water Reclamation Division, PW 122821-16. Request authorization for the mayor and finance director to sign sewer service agreement between the City of Rapid City and Rapid Valley Sanitary District to allow the district to use the sewage treatment system of the city. And who would like to comment on that one? Director Tech.
Thank you, Chairman Jones. This item has already been approved by the Rapid Valley Sanitary District Board. This is just an update to the agreement. I think that was last entered into in the early 20-teens. So just an update to our agreement to reflect appropriate billing rates and the service that we provide. Historically, we've always accepted all of the wastewater from Rapid Valley Sanitary District, and we are going to continue to do that. And this agreement just formalizes that relationship that we have.
So they will continue to be a customer of ours, just like anyone else would, only a big one.
That's correct.
Very good. Anyone else, questions? Okay, we need a motion, please. Moved by Stroman, second by Evans to approve item 17. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That completes the agenda. We need a motion to adjourn. Move to adjourn. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned.